Let's talk a little bit about workbenches. In this video, I'll show you my newest workbench and why I believe this is so far the best workbench I ever had. You see here, it's not new, it's not complicated. There are no special features here like vices or so, like nothing of that. There's just here something to clean, and here there's a hose for the pressed air, for the compressor, and a caulking gun here for glue, and that's pretty much it. The rest is just the bench, just the table with the legs. And I believe if you do it right, then that's all you need. We will get a little bit more into detail, but I want to show you for a second my old bench, the workbench that I made a few years ago, and you see it is far more complicated. There are those drawers, there's this front vise. I also drilled holes because I thought I would use some hold down clamps or some what is it, this hold fast or so. But turned out that I only got this few cheap bench docks, I think from Craig, and yeah, they are okay, but I barely use this bench. It's still in use, but I don't use it that often anymore. And here I show you some old footage from an older video, and here you can see already why this bench is the new bench is so much better than my old one because of the possibilities of clamping. So here I want to screw two pieces together, and one is shaped and the other one is just straight, and it would be more complicated to do this on another bench to hold everything tight while I screw it together. And here you can see there's this at the front board I clamp it together, and yeah, obviously there is this slot right in the bench, and there's a reason for that, and it's because you can put clamps in it and clamp pieces together. Same here. And as you can see here on the left, there is this bigger clamp which I use to clamp that board vertical to the bench, and also I can clamp this little piece that I made before to clamp it next to that vertical board so that I can put a screw in it. And it, yeah, I have to say it works fantastic. Here there is some more footage of that same older video from me where I use this bench, and I think the pictures they kind of speak for themselves. I'm not saying that you could not get similar results from another type of workbench, but this workbench here makes everything a lot easier. And as you can see here, it's pretty much just a few boards on the top. Then you have this slot, and then there comes the next board. And also at the front, and I think I have it same on the back, there's this vertical board. And you would see later in this video why not only this slot in the middle, but also this vertical board is very important and very useful. Here I use my crack pocket hole jig, and I use this slot in the middle to clamp the whole jig down, so that I do not need to do it at the front, and you never have those clamps in the way, so that it's kind of, yeah, makes things a little bit more difficult. Here are also to screw those. It's again, it's a different video, but it's also an older video. Here I just collected some video material to show you how I use this bench. And here I want to put some pocket holes in, and again I use this slot in the middle so that I can work at the front. I'm not saying again that you could not do the same on a traditional workbench. You would just need to clamp it at the front of your bench, so that you would need to work like over the bench and screwing it from the back. And here you can do it at the front. I think it makes things again a lot easier. And I have to be honest, this design for the bench, it's not my idea. I found it somewhere else in another video from someone from Germany, a great woodworker, and I just adapted the idea for the workbench because I thought that's a great idea. And of course, yes, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, there is a chance, and it happens, that stuff is falling through that little slot, but I don't think it's a big problem. You just pick it up, and yeah, it's no big deal, my opinion. If you don't like that, yeah, sure, I get that, but for me, the the benefits I get from it are so much bigger than any difficulties I could have with stuff falling through that little slot here. Here, another project. This was a planter I made this year, or just an idea for a planter. And again, I use this slot to clamp things down. And again, it works fantastic. Also, what I want to show here from another video again, this workbench is also very great for panel glue up, because lots of benches that I saw in the past, or even those that are made by myself, are very not very small, but very often they're not big enough to do the panel glue up. And so I ended up with, and I think lots of people can relate to that, they have to do it on the floor, but I designed this workbench a little bigger so that I can do easily the panel glue up on the bench. But always, to protect this bench, I get some cardboard under it when I do some glue up or also some painting. Yeah, it just works great. And because I think some people are wondering, there's no issue with that slot when I do the glue up, so that no clamp would fall into that slot. So in here, this is another old footage from another video. Here I do some dovetails, and here it's why this vertical board at the front of the bench is important, because I can pretty much, together with some clamps, use it like a vise pretty much. I thought about getting a front vise for this workbench, because I had one on my older one, but I left it on the older one because it's not necessary. Here you can see even better at the front. There's this vertical board. It's not in it's I have to say that it's not in the way when you work on it. It's not hitting your legs or so, or for me, I will have to say. But you can use it to clamp things vertical to your workbench, and so that makes the expensive front vise kind of obsolete. You don't need it. And for this workbench, I used some Douglas fir that I got very cheap. But even if not, so I only used the Douglas fir because I had it. But even if not, I would have made the same workbench just out of some construction lumber, I would say. Maybe a few 2x6s or a few 2x8s. And because you do not need lots of extras for that, just the boards and some screws, you could easily make this for less than $100, in my opinion. So what do you think? If you like the video, if you like the workbench, please give me a thumbs up, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.